No two people with autism are the same, and no two people with autism have had identical experiences with the church. In this video, we ask people with autism and parents of children with autism about their involvement in church. We hope hearing their unique stories and challenges will encourage you, not only to consider how your church can become more welcoming to people with autism, but how it will become richer through their presence and participation.
Hi, my name is Zachary Hubert. I'm the firstborn son of Greg and Gina Hubert, who are the parents of 3 autistic men, which include myself and my brothers, Tyler and Tate Hubert.
My name is Jordan Abramson. I am a godly man with autism.
I am John, and I am parent to my son Chris, who is 15 and is autistic nonverbal.
My name is Linda Bunk, and I have Asperger's and bipolar.
My name is Cynthia Berry, and my son is Sizwe David Mabua, and when he was 3, he was diagnosed on the autism spectrum.
We are Lee and Sandra Peoples, and we are parents to 2 boys. David and James was diagnosed with autism in 2010.
When I was 3 years old, my parents noticed that I was different from other kids. And so they took me to a behavioral therapist, and they told my parents, your son is on the autism spectrum. That's why he behaves this way.
I think we just had something in the back of our head that told us something might not be right here. And then it was right about the age of 3 that we went to a neuropsych. And the neuropsych had given him the label of, at the time, what was called PDD, pervasive developmental disorder, which doesn't even exist anymore. Now it's just straight autism.
When they got word of the diagnosis after so many struggles that I've had at that age, they admitted that it was kind of heartbreaking at the time. But I myself, I was too young to really understand what that meant. My understanding of it changes as I continue to grow.
So I got diagnosed as an adult about 15 years ago. It just made things click for me.
When Sizwe was diagnosed at 3 with autism, I was a single mom. It caused me to spiral down because all of a sudden, Sizwe going to school and having a career all changed.
We got his diagnosis. It changed the way we spent our money. It changed our plans for his schooling. It changed the church. But what was unique about our situation is that Lee is the pastor. And so it wasn't that we could leave our church and go to the big mega church that had a disability ministry. We had to look around at the church that we were a part of and say, for James to be a part of this church, there's going to have to be some changes.
I would say to a church leader, if you come across a person with autism, be gentle. And if they don't they don't make eye contact, don't take it as if they're they don't like you. It's just the fact that they have that trouble.
Community for me has been a huge part of me not only learning how to parent and parent well, but also how to take care of myself in terms of that self-care piece so that I can take care of my son.
There's this misconception that, they're autism. They just all go in this one autistic bag, where you have to figure out who is this person. What is it that makes them tick? What are some of the gifts that they have? And they just happen to have autism.
The sad thing actually comes with the church. They actually told my parents that if they wanted to come back and attend church and have me there, they would have to sit with me during Sunday school. And this was a sad thing because this was a church that they had actively grown up with. The church is supposed to be an open, welcoming, safe environment for any Christian to talk about their faith. We just want a place to feel welcome, and we want to feel heard and that we actually matter.
And these communities can be that other part that helps keep people stable or just feeling like they're part of something.
I had people who became my rescue partners within the context of the church. And that is what got me moving from a place of isolation to trusting community. I would say that oftentimes when you are in the crust of living with a disability, we self-isolate because we don't want to bother people. We sure don't want to be judged. The first time someone intruded on my isolation, fear was there. trusting people to, to create an environment for Sizwe that I know they weren't looking to harm him. And it took this one woman to be persistent, to continue to reach out to me. She drew me out of isolation.
I think the most important thing is to remember that we don't want to be fixed. We want people to understand. You don't need a doctor's understanding, but just to understand it. And I think the most important thing for Christians, even leaders like pastors, is we have to remember in the Bible, it always says that Jesus looked on them with compassion. And I think we have to model that.
And pray for them. Pray that the Lord would continue to work in their lives. Just because they have this disability doesn't mean the Lord can't work in them.
If you've met one person with autism, that's it. You just met the one.